Guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to be over an article or a story titled, Am I the A-hole for wanting my stay-at-home wife to be thankful? And in this guy's story, guys, this is about a young guy who's married and he has a young wife and he does all the work and she stays at home with their 2-year-old child. Okay? And basically the situation is that this guy is working his tail off. He has 2 jobs, working like 80 hours a week sometime, getting 4 or 5 hours of sleep, hardly any time with his son, and yet no matter what he does, how hard he works, his wife is very ungrateful. She's complaining about, not having enough vacations and other things like that. This guy's busting his tail, and she's not happy, okay? Complaining, all that. And this guy's really wondering, am I the jerk for wanting her to be thankful and grateful, which of course we know, no, he's not a jerk. And I chose this, guys, as this is an example of what happens for you guys that do relationships. You got to understand that if you're a giver and you're naturally want to, take care of the girl you're with or your wife and you want to give, if she's a taker, this is the situation you're going to have. Now, I warn you guys all the time about all the pitfalls and all the problems with marriage nowadays, but again, many of you guys either are in marriages or you're going to do it anyway, so I'm just letting you know the type of things that can happen, okay? And you got to understand this, guys, real quick, is that in many ways, adults can be just like children. When you have a child, and if a parent showers that child with toys and vacations and treats and gifts and all this stuff, the child is going to become spoiled. And not only that, the child is generally going to become very ungrateful and entitled. And if that continues on long, that's how they're going to become as a teenager and adult. And adults can be the same way. So guys, if you have a girlfriend or fiance or wife and you treat her like this and you constantly give, she's going to get spoiled and it's just going to get worse. So be aware of this if you're going to go in that direction here, as you're going to see in this story. So it starts out saying, my wife stays at home with our almost 2-year-old son. She dreamt of being a stay-at-home mom her whole life, and we had discussed and agreed on that before we were married. It took several years to get a place where we hoped we would be able to afford it. Every decision I've made since we got married has been focused on helping make this a dream reality for her. So right there, guys, you can see this guy is completely focusing everything on her. He's not talking about him. And generally, a lot of guys will do this. They can feel like the provider and strong and the man of the house, the man of the family. But you know what? She's got to give back. There's got to be some appreciation. He comes in that door, guess what? Dinner's ready. A good dinner, I might add. And she's loving and affectionate and all that and makes him feel good. Woman does that, a wife does that, and guys will do this type of thing. But if they're not being appreciated, they're not, they're getting complaints and all that and just being treated like crap. Why would they do this? It's crazy. But a lot of guys do this and they get sucked into a situation like that. He says, but lately, I've been starting to feel burnt out. I had to pick up a second job and I'm working over 80 hours a week for the past year and a half. Guys, you shouldn't be working 80 hours a week unless you have your own company and you're the owner and you're trying to make something of yourself, or you're in a temporary situation where you got to get cash. And otherwise, it's insane, because you are going to work yourself to death. And doing this just so you can provide some things to somebody, let alone an ungrateful wife, no way. And this guy, he's killed himself, and you're going to see as I go on how this goes. Most weekdays, I get to see our son for around an hour between the 2 jobs, with our dinner being around half of that. I get 4 to 5 hours of sleep a night during the week. I only work 8 hours on Saturday and Sunday, so those aren't as bad. So this guy's working every single day without a day off and getting 4 to 5 hours of sleep. I'm not a doctor, but I'm a personal trainer, so I understand health. And this guy he's working himself to an early grave. This is not good. And she's unappreciative. I do not resent her for getting to stay at home with him. I think that is great for both of them. We made that decision together, and I have worked extremely hard to be able to give her that. I'm proud of everything I did to be able to do this for her. Okay, see, and this guy, I bet you would keep doing this if she showed appreciation, but he's not getting that. And I got to wonder, was this her idea all along? Get some guy to work and I can stay at home and do whatever I want. And given the videos I've done, what could really be going on when he's not there? You got to ask that question. It's unfortunate, but you got to ask that question. But my issue is there is zero appreciation for all that I have done. And it doesn't seem to be enough. She is constantly upset with me, complaining how we can't afford to go on a trip she wants or buy some expensive things. Almost every day, she is the victim. And I can't ever communicate or vent about what I'm going through. She can't understand why I'm getting tired or burnt out, and keeps mentioning how much harder it is for her. What a load of crap. This woman is a taker, okay? She's using this guy for everything he's worth, okay? If she was a good person and good wife, even though he's working really hard, maybe she's lonely, she'd understand he's doing it for them, Or maybe she might say, hey, you know what? Maybe I can have the kid be at mom and dad's house, the grandparents' house, a few days a week, and she can get a job, and that way he can at least have one day off during the weekend or something, But no, and you hear her complaining about wanting to go on vacations and have other things, and she's the victim. And guys, here's the thing: as we all know this, all you guys that have been in a relationship, women do complain. Okay, even if things are great, they're gonna complain. But there's levels to this shit. Okay, and also they're gonna nag. We all know that, but in this situation where he's doing everything, getting no sleep, working every day of the week, it's unbelievable. This guy either needs to lay down the law or get out, because he's working himself to death. I understand being a stay-at-home mom is not a vacation. It's hard raising a kid. I get that, believe me. But it's not as hard as what he's going through. But I'm currently super pumped if I get half an hour to myself a couple times a week, while she is at home watching Netflix 5 to 6 hours a day. Without son, he sleeps 12 hours straight every night and takes 2 naps. She'll finish a season of a show every couple of days. See? Yes, she has to be there with the baby. And believe me, I get all the demands. Believe me, because I have friends that have little kids. I got family. I understand this. But she's home sitting on the couch chilling while he's busting his butt. She could be doing something. Certainly working out. He doesn't say what she looks like or the shape she's in, but, Even so, I'm not upset that she gets that free time, that kind of free time. I'm upset that she isn't even slightly thankful or appreciative of what I do for her. And even worse, makes herself the victim and complains about her situation. What the hell does she have to... okay, maybe she's lonely, but she's lonely because he's not there, because he's busting his butt. But like I said, given the many videos I've done and heard stories like this, it is either it's going on or it's only a matter of time before somebody else is going to keep her company. We all know this. And this poor guy, and says she isn't even slightly thankful or appreciative of what I do for her, and even worse, makes herself the victim and complains about her situation. It breaks my heart, and it makes me feel like all this stuff I spent forever on was for nothing. That it was wasted. In my mind, at the time it was worth doing all this was because I was doing it for her, giving her this amazing gift. I was literally making her dreams come true, but it seems like it still isn't enough, and I'm not sure what more I could do and still stay sane. I'm barely hanging on as it is. Am I too in my head about this? Am I the asshole making myself a victim? Absolutely not. So, guys, for this guy who wrote this, and any of you guys that might be in a similar situation, this guy, as I've read, is busting his ass. 80 hours a week, 2 jobs, 4 or 5 hours of sleep at night, working on weekends. It's too much. Again, if you own your own company and you are busting your tail for that kind of success, that's one thing for a period of time. Or if you're in a short-term situation, you got to get cash quick, and you're young, okay, but this is like a permanent thing. And there's no respect, no appreciation. So for you guys that are in a situation like this, either one of two things can happen here. Either basically he lays down the law to her and says, look, I'm tired of all this complaining, I'm doing this, this, and this, and I'm going to need either you're going to start appreciating me and showing me the respect and da-da-da-da, and by the way, doing something to help out around here, and she does it and goes along with it, which good luck, because she probably perceives him as weak, or he ends it. He bites the bullet and he ends it, okay? And they have to go through custody, and she'll probably get the custody of the child and all that, but at the end of the day, and you can get a clean slate, because a situation like this is not worth dealing with forever. And this guy, honestly, it seems like only a matter of time probably end anyway. So yes, he'd have to go through the mess of divorce. Yes, obviously the kid would go with her. Yes, he'd have to pay her money and all that. But at the end of the day, at least then he can be on his own with a clean slate, because it is not worth it. Okay? And so again, guys, I warn you about getting married in this day and age. Okay? The deck is stacked against you. It's not worth it. You can be taken advantage of. And again, this guy gets a divorce. The odds are the family courts are going to definitely side in her favor. So be aware of this. But again, guys, for those of you who do relationships, whether it's just a regular girlfriend of yours, a fiance, or if you're already married, really pick up on the fact that if you're doing the giving and she's doing all the taking, that'll say something, okay? Move on. Find somebody else, because your life is going to be like this guy in one form or another. It's not good. Life is short, guys. I want you to be happy. I want you to do things for yourself. Makes you happy first. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know if you've ever been in a situation like this or know anybody in a situation like that, how it ended, all that. I'd like to hear about that. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.